1, 2, 3.
Small is my bowl.
How small is your bowl?
How small is my bowl? Medium.
You seem a bit scared when you said
Nah, medium. Medium.
Medium.
My bowl is medium. It's not small. It's not the smallest. It's not the biggest. We're talking about bowls here, people. It's medium. And when I say medium, looking at a lot of the, for example, like jobs I want to apply for, things I want to achieve in terms of like business I want to have outside of like the 9 to 5 and like fitness goals and stuff. I know that there's always room for me to push a bit further. So,
but do you know what it looks like? Do you know this
that's
whole
the thing.
dream
I don't
element?
think you can. This is where it gets tough because it kind of goes back to this kind of subjective point of people see success as different things, rare tear tear. But when I kind of look at things and when I guess sometimes compare or look at what other people are doing, I'm sort of sometimes question myself and sort of saying, am I really asking myself, or am I really asking enough of myself? Like, could I do more? Am I bigger than this? Can I get more from myself? Like, there's this book, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't fully read it, but it's called 10x, and the basic concept is 10x your goals 10x and your finish, literally everything in that.
Love, 10x it.
Try for more.
Food, 10x.
One biscuit, have 10, bro. And it's that kind of concept of, but you can do more.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people have this kind of thing where they'll only aim for what they know they can achieve.
Realistic goals.
That realistic kind of mediocre average.
It's not mediocre. It's just,
no, a lot of the time it's just base. It's base level. It's like, this is the average.
I could do 10 press-ups.
I'll take the average. And it's never that kind of concept of thinking about that wider context of achieving more. And a perfect example of the opposite is the Guinness Book of World Records, where people are just like, I'm going to achieve literally the highest record in this particular niche or this particular area, and it will be down in the Book of Records. In life, I am there. Like, I'm going to make the biggest pizza. I'm going to do the most press-ups or hold my breath the longest underwater. And the good thing about it is that it really puts into our minds what we can achieve. But it's the possibility, because for a lot of people, seeing what you can achieve is what they need. So there's this example where I believe we as humans thought that we couldn't run, I think it was a mile or 100 meters or whatever it is, in
less than 20 minutes.
Something. No, it was like something like that.
I've heard. I don't know where it was, but
I think it was 100 meters.
You can't run this fast. It's basically impossible.
It's impossible. The human body can't. You're not a cheater. And then some skinny brother comes from nowhere in like 82 or whatever. He did it in like under the time.
Yeah.
And then from there, it became the norm. That set the standard. So that 20 minutes got smashed out the park. Someone did it in say 18 minutes, and then us as humans went, okay, cool. If he can do it, it
is possible.
And then we've just basically like reduced that time to whatever it is now. And that kind of concept is so important because it applies to so many different areas and facets of life. Like, there are people now who maybe look at things, including myself, who maybe look at jobs or other areas and like, can I get that? I can't get that. It's that nagging self-doubt in the back of their mind of, I don't know.
I don't even know where to start.
I'm not even, And then by them not even trying or having a belief, they won't even put themselves in that situation. And it's just that it's that concept of closed mouths don't get fed. If you don't even ask, the answer is always going to be no. If you don't try, how you know?
You don't.
And it's that aspect of pushing yourself to achieve more. So with me, that whole concept of just 10 times more, when I look at kind of jobs or I look at, businesses I want to kind of start and thinking about revenue and profits, I'm just at a point now where I always over-exaggerate. So let's say, for example, I want to start a business. I want to generate, £500,000 in terms of like revenue, sales, whatever. From that, maybe I want to do 100K like net or gross profit,
each week. Come on.
Yeah, like a year. So it's now my mindset is more like, okay, but what can we do with this? Double it. Triple it.
Pressure.
Like, how can we do it in half the time? And I'm just like, but the thing is, when I say those things to myself, that's when I'm a bit like, okay, that's when the heat in the kitchen, that's when I feel it.
Uncomfortable feeling.
That's when I'm like, ooh. But again, that uncomfortable feeling, I know that's that measure of, okay, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
When you feel uncomfortable, when I'm in the gym and I'm benching 110, 120, and I'm like, no one's here to help me, and I can feel it, I'm like, okay, but it's It's uncomfortable, but that's where the growth is.
Do things big.
And that's, I think, for me, the most important point. That's where that growth is.
Yeah.
I'm benching 20. I'm cool. This is light work. 20 on each side. Nothing. Oh, like, what are you doing? That's nothing. Let's do something serious. Yesterday, I was doing like 110 or what. I don't know. Can't
Is
remember.
that you? Yeah?
Light work. I was doing that. I'm playing. Doing 110, but then I was just like, no one's here to help me. This was at like 8 in the evening. Gym was pretty much empty, and I'm just there like, oh, you're brave, you know. Who do you think you are? But now I was just there like, come on. But then that's where the growth is. That's where you feel that lactic acid. That's where your muscle fibers are going to grow. And I'm just like, It's that whole concept of pushing yourself outside your comfort zone.
So there's something I want to touch in on that part.
Yeah.
So I have the book called The Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday.
Yeah.
And so every single day it's got like a little piece of Stoic sort of like information. So today we're talking about hope and fear. And they're basically the same thing. They come part of the solution. If you have hope, you're going to have fear. If you have fear, there's going to be hope. And like as you're talking about things, like when you dream big, there's that hope. I one day wish I want, but the fear kicks in of going, but I could actually get half of that, or I could get 1/3 of that. And it's just the reality of life. And it's like, once you understand that, fear is never going away.
Yeah.
Hope is never going away.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to live a normal life and be like, okay, I have no dreams. I'm not scared of anything. Are you living? Are you alive? Do you even have a heartbeat?
Yeah.
You know them questions. But this whole thing started from like just doing things big. Yeah. I remember I had a conversation with you. So I went to a property event, I think about 2 months ago, and the guy was talking about one element of him before he even started his company. He started to go to places like £2 million flat apartment viewings, just so he can take off his shoes and walk on the carpet to know what expensive carpet feels like. He went toilet, ran his hands all against the wall. He was like,
he was loving it.
Is this what the tiles are like? Oh yeah, okay. But there was something in that whole message that he was giving. He was just like, you have to kind of activate your brain to start believing what is possible. Yeah. And also, once you walk away from it, you're going, you know what, I could live in a place like that. Yeah. And it made me realize that my whole upbringing's also been around like living in my means, living in a kind of like, I want to say like constraining myself. So I could have I have the finances to probably spend 2 nights in a nice little place, but I'll be like, no, you know what? Let me just take Travelodge. Yeah. No disrespect for Travelodge, it's a good night's sleep, but sometimes you got to do things big. Yeah. And that whole thing just kind of set me off. And I remember I mentioned it to you. Yeah. Yeah. And it's had an impact on you as well.
It has. It's like you said, I think it's the sort of framing aspect of environment. Kind of like you are what you see as well. You achieve what you can see is around you. And I remember you told me, and I was like, you know what? That's actually a pretty good idea. Because I know a lot of people tend to do it with cars as well, where they'll rent the car that they really want for like a weekend. So
as long as you're doing it for you, rather than just
of course. You're not too sure of like for me, because I sort of see it as the level up from vision boarding, or it's a part of vision boarding, but I feel it's like the vision boarding on steroids in the sense in that
if you take a picture while you're there as well, on your vision board,
I'm telling you,
like, I was actually
there. Yeah, literally, because it brings it to life. Like it's one thing to have a cut-out picture of a house or a car, dreams written down, whatever, on a piece of paper, but then to actually live that and be in that position, like you said, be able to take pictures and even videos in that environment, that's the next level. Because I remember we had that conversation, and then I was like, you know what? No, I'm doing it. I think it was that same day or that weekend or whenever it was. Basically found like this 2.5 million house, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm gonna view that standard. Bearing in mind, I've been viewing houses around the like 200 to 300k mark. Fam, this house quality, was next level. Nice. Yeah. Swedish couple. The guy, I can't remember where the wife was. The man's like, yeah, my wife's not here, but can you take your shoes off? Okay, this is like the Swedish flooring. We got the Italian thingy, and I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, I don't know what that means, but that sounds.
I've got hardwood at home.
Sounds nice, but I remember that I'm like, we got the plastic thing. We got laminate, we got laminate. So then remember the estate agent came to get us because the owner wasn't at home. Drove us around the area. I was like, good schools, parks, Boris Johnson's dad. I'm like, Boris Johnson's dad? Said it so casually. One of them areas, it was Northwest 10 somewhere. So we get to the house, bro. It was like 3 different levels. Yeah. They had an annex with like, basically like in the annex was like a separate kitchen, bathroom,
Yeah.
bedroom.
That's where the parents could
Three
stay.
different floors.
Yeah.
3 different floors. Top floor was like massive bedroom. Had like a sort of walkout balcony, but like a sort of glass plane. All double beds, all ensuite. The kitchen was like the kitchen in most houses tends to sell the house.
Yeah, definitely.
And I definitely fell in love with this kitchen.
Island.
It had a little island.
Yes.
It was broken out into 3 different sections. So you had the seating area for like breakfast and stuff. The
Yeah.
island. There was an area where there was like a little fireplace as well. Then in the kitchen there were like these 2 massive like panels to like lighting in. And then like some of these houses have got the massive those frames that you pull. So it wasn't like a door. It was like one of those pull frames.
What, bifolding doors? Like you can open it all the way
with the
open.
long one, So it was all just glass, so you could just get. So there was so much lighting, so it was so bright.
Yeah.
The garden was massive, and it was overlooking the school as well. So like location-wise, it was just like the kids should never be late for school. Jump over the fence if you're. And bro, I was just like, nah, this is nice.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man. And then the guy was like, yeah, if you want it, just give us a call. We got a few other viewers, blah, blah, blah. But then being in that position, I remember going home and the next day I was looking at normal houses. And I was just like, but no, this is like less than half the size of that 2.5 million. And I was just like, nah.
This is the size of the bathroom.
But literally it was that conundrum of, I've now been forced into this position where I have to think 10 times bigger. Like looking from a house that's 250k to a house that's 2.5. The whole value of the 250k house is now the deposit for this 2.5 million house. So it's gone from getting 25k to 250k as a deposit. And then I was able to break it down because that 2.5 million house meant that once you've dropped your 250 or so,
mortgage repayment,
your monthly mortgage payments go from like 1 point whatever to like, it was like 8, 9 to 9k. And I'm just like, okay, cool. But I've broken it down because before it was just 2.5 million. But now I've broken it down into manageable payments. Okay, what can be done? What business can be generated? What business can be, grown to generate however much a month to give that, after tax profit of however much, so that a portion of that, which will be 9 to 10k, can go towards the mortgage. I'm like, this is not impossible. There are people who are in jobs that make that amount of money, and just by going to view that house, I was able to just break it down in that way. And I don't think I would have done that if I just had it as a picture on like my kind of vision board. And it really just...
It's possible. And that's not saying, but like it adds a bit more kind of to it.
It's more and more just kind of like, that kind of aspect. And I think now it's like that kind of aspect of, okay, what's next? And kind of like the plan is obviously possibly like do it with a car, which I'm not overly bothered about. It's more the house. And I know me and you have spoken and we're looking to rent out a massive like complex apartment with the swimming pool and like the cinema room, or even if it's just for 1 or 2 nights, it just really kind of brings it to life, doesn't it? Like you said, it's that point of activating that part of the brain that just gets the juices flowing and gets you thinking about how can I make this a reality? This was nice for that weekend. The viewing was nice for the 20 minutes, but how can we make this our day to day? Yeah,
it doesn't even have to be lavish. Like the one thing that I realized was, so like everything that's been in my life, I've always lived in a flat or a bungalow. Yeah. I've never lived in like a house with like 3 floors.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I want that. Yeah. There's no reason why I shouldn't have that. Yeah, if I work hard for it, if I have something that I can work towards, then I can achieve it, right? Yeah. So I remember I stayed in a new build Airbnb for a couple of days. And I think I was living my best life. The place was to myself, drove up in the driveway, parked my car. I was like, you know what? Why am I not doing this yet? And sometimes you need that wake up because sometimes, and like, again, I've been brought up with being what they class as frugal or living within your means. Yeah. So buying a new build house is possible today. Me parking up that car in the driveway, stepping out, locking the door, looking at my car, going into the house. I was like, why am I not doing this today? Yeah. That realization. So it also brings that as well. It makes you kind of shift your foundation of what you know and what you believe and kind of put things in perspective of going, I actually can do it today. Yeah. What am I waiting on? Or what do I need to do to enable me? Yeah. And I remember I told you about the goldfish. Yeah. Like I was sitting in that house and I was thinking, there's a lot of space here. Yeah. And I was like, this is how goldfishes are. Like you grow to the size of your bowl. Yeah. You grow to the size of your tank. Yes. So me living in such a small, what I class as a small confined space, I feel very limited. I don't feel open. I don't feel like I'm enjoying my space. Me being in that 3-bed house by myself, I was like, "Hey, yo,
bro!"
I was so productive,
honestly, and it is just. And I'm glad you mentioned the point about the goldfish and the bowl, and it's an interesting point that a goldfish only kind of grows the size of its bowl, and for me, it's
apparently
just
it's a
perfectly
shark as well.
Yeah, it's just perfectly fitting because it's just that whole point of emphasizing the point about
Environments, yeah.
like you are the product of your environment. That whole concept of you are what you eat.
Yeah.
And it really does come to light in that you know you are what you think. There's this, I forgot what the way it is like, okay, the way you think, the way you feel affects the way you think, and the way you think affects what you do. And what you do obviously kind of shapes you as an individual. And it's so true in that your environment, who you're around, what you think about, how you view things, how you judge things, how you kind of like establish things really does determine where you will be and what you'll achieve. And just honestly from that, I'm just like, you know what, this is why it's so important to sometimes 10x. And like we said, think bigger than it is now. Think bigger than yourself. And you think you can do 10, right? 20. Even if you don't get 20, you might probably get more than 10. And that kind of concept of, okay, if you aim for the stars, even if you miss, you're landing on clouds. And the clouds is higher than where you originally kind of set yourself to. So by you kind of overextending, again, you put yourself in that mind frame of thinking of how you can achieve that. And even if you don't achieve it, it's okay. Because I feel like we live in a world, and this kind of goes back to the point of people kind of having those mundane, average kind of goals and stuff. And again, not to say if there's wrong with that, if that's your thing, cool. But I feel a lot of it relates to this aspect of failure. And I know we mentioned this in episodes time ago where failure is just seen as this negative, bad thing. But the reality is, if you speak to any successful person, they will tell you, look, I had to take these losses to learn. I had to go the wrong way to learn the wrong way wasn't the right way. And by process of elimination, by trial and error, I've now been able to establish that this is the right way.
It's mad.
And I think just kind of taking failure as like a learning process. I fell, but I knew how to get up.
On that one,
So
I picked up something recently about failure. Failure doesn't just happen. It's incremental things that's been happening for a long time. You've just been blind to it actually happening.
Them clicks
I'm just like, when you know when you hear, you're like, what?
So come again with that one?
I didn't. So like you failed at, let's call it GCSE maths.
Yeah. Quick math.
So you failed the test.
Yeah.
But what it really means is you was failing from way back. You wasn't understanding the concept of bod maths or, you know, algebra. Like, you didn't fail maths. You was failing before the different aspects of it. I was like, failure is not just one of those things where it just hits you. It's been happening for time. You just haven't seen it.
This is just
like,
the actual,
deep. That is so deep. But you learn from it. Precisely what you're saying. You learn from it. You don't let it beat you up and be like, oh, I'm shit at maths. You just go, okay, what do I need to learn from this? How can I improve? What do I need to focus on? And then how do I 10x it, 20x it, as you're saying?
It's the learning piece. And it's just, I think a lot of it, because for me originally, just that kind of aspect of 10x or double or just wanting more than standard, it was always that fair piece of being taught to just, again, like you mentioned, live within your means, be humble, be like, you don't need a 2.5 million house. You don't need 10 million in the bank. And it's kind of like, well, maybe why not? Or what if? What is wrong with having that? What is wrong with aspiring to have more?
You could stay in a 2.5 million house for 2 days, realize it's not for you, be content with what you got, and then be like, okay, let me buy my little £200 house, and I'm happy.
My 200k, little like flat,
small,
squashed in.
Maybe you don't want space,
and it isn't for everyone. But for me, it's like, let's at least try.
Yeah. So whatever's on your vision board, I think this is almost like a challenge. Whatever on your vision board. Fair enough, you can't sample it fully today, but is there something that you can do? So if it's like flying an airplane, you want to learn how to fly a helicopter, take a helicopter ride.
Bro, you know, I've been thinking about the little, you know, them little like 2-person planes.
Yeah,
you know? I don't know why. I think because I went skydiving.
Man's like,
the thing, they had the little plane there, and I saw it kind of going off, and then they give you like the little posters, and they were like, lessons are like 130, and I was like, I'm not. You're telling me I could fly a plane? I'm like, nah. But it's just been like in my mind. It's not. I mean, it's not something I'm obviously overly like passionate about or whatever. I've never really thought about it, but just kind of seeing it, I'm like, why not?
But this is connecting to why you do things big.
Yeah.
So apparently, you being up in the air, them handing out that flyer activates a part of your brain called the RSA. I can't remember what it stands for.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know when they say it's similar to you wanting a BMW 1 Series.
Yeah.
you've got your mind on it. You start seeing it everywhere now.
Yes,
You're focused. That's all because of the RSA.
All on the road. That's what you see.
So because you're up in the air, they gave you the leaflet. Now you're focused on it, and now you're like, oh, I want to do it.
Yeah.
And this is why you have to do things big.
That's crazy.
They
didn't give it to me up in the sky, by the way, people feel. It was like down. But yeah, no. You know what? It's so true because I remember when my first car was, I think it was the Vauxhall Astra, and as soon as I got it, even when I wasn't driving, all I would see on the road is Vauxhall Astras.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's my car.
Activation.
And even it's weird, even like with my dad's car as well. When he had his car, he's got some Nissan whatever now, but with his old car, whenever I see that car on road, is that Pops? Is that big man? And it's just that kind of, it's that framing and that environment of kind of like you see. It's like sometimes people say it as what you focus on will grow. And that really relates in this kind of aspect, in that what you focus on in terms of your time, your energy, your resources will grow. So what harm is there in focusing on higher goals, higher visions?
Yeah.
Or you might achieve it. Oh, I'm sorry.
I think we all got visions.
At different levels, yeah.
Someone could have a vision of traveling to Thailand. They can't, afford the flight, but go and do a Thai cooking experience.
Yeah.
Try and connect to that Thai experience somehow.
At some linkage.
So you're like, oh yeah, that food bangs. Learn the language. Oh, it's happening.
Yeah. In little kind of, but it's crazy because I was on the phone to my friend Femi yesterday. Excuse me. And I was sort of telling him about, so my boy wants to do his 30th in Dubai. And I was like, yeah, bro, this is happening. If you want to come, invite stay. He's like, no way, swear down. I'm like, yeah, why? He's like, oh, in his head, he's been thinking about going there himself. And he's like, he's mentioned it to a few other people that he hasn't really been traveling. The first country he wants to do is Dubai. And he's like, it's crazy that we're having this conversation. I'm just like, by you just bringing it out into the world, and even though it just started in your mind, by you just speaking it into existence, us having this conversation, and now you're coming to Dubai. Like, just from a conversation, and it started off as a thought in your head. And this kind of relates to this whole process of kind of like, you are what you eat, but in terms of your mind, like you become what you think. And I believe that so deeply. Like, what you put your energy into really does come to life. And I think this is why it's so important to just feed your mind with such positive energy and like good things, and just be able to really think about what you want and how you want to achieve it. And it's deep, man, because this fishbowl thing, I'm just like, that's crazy.
It hit me so hard.
But it's because I'm like, some of your brothers or some of the other like sharks and fishes will grow to be this long, but you're telling me if I put it in a bowl this big, it will not grow bigger than this. Yeah. That's mad. But that says it all. That literally says it all.
So my breakdown of that went even further.
Man.
So it's on a whole... Let me tell you.
This is an onion. This is an onion. There's levels to this.
In this place, it created this space for me to just think and reflect. And I remember I was like, wow, why is my makeup this way, in the sense of I have this belief that anything is truly possible.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, growing up, I had role models, but in a sense of they went to work, but I don't think I was fully on. I didn't really see them as true role models.
Yeah.
So I was always turning to like books and YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And the people that I connected with were people who already been there, done that, and they're telling me how to do it.
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah, man, I made 2.5 million yesterday. And I'm like, oh, how do I do that? Then I'm like, oh, how do I get to that level?
Yeah.
And it was just like, I've been thinking big because of who I've been around, that environment. So you do sometimes have to change your environment, the people you're around. You have to look at others to realize, okay, I've been thinking small. So I feel like my development is based on my environment at home, who I've been around with, which sometimes does limit me. But then also my connection to people that I'm not even connected with, my online mentors that I just watch on YouTube, Tim Ferriss, like, right, is that what he's doing? Oh, okay.
That one's there. Let me try that. Yeah. No, that's literally me. That's such a good example, because he mentioned like meditation, flotation thing, and I've done all of that. I'm like, oh, is it mentor Tim? I'm like, let me try that, and I try.
And that's why
it's
so foreign to everyone else, because they don't get why you're doing it.
It's powerful stuff, man. But it's a good point to kind of lead on to in that, because I know I speak to people who sort of say it's not easy to kind of like change your environment, and I don't want to cut off my friends and that sort of thing. And I sort of say to them that kind of that point around you're the average of your 5 closest friends, and that it doesn't necessarily have to be friends. It could be people. It's more who you spend your time with, and that can be in the
What you
form of
consume.
reading books, listening to podcasts. Again, the videos you consume on YouTube or whatever the platform is, and it could be in that sense. If you're listening to Tim Ferriss, for example, on podcast on YouTube, reading these books for 4 or 5 hours a week or a day, he's up there. He's in that top 5, and he's giving you certain knowledge on different things in terms of your personal development, your growth, being a human guinea pig, and that's where you might grow in that aspect. He really is. You like he does these things. He does these. He does these things, and it's like that's his sort of thing. So I think being able to kind of like take that step back and kind of go, what area or space do I want to grow in? I want to grow in the property space. Okay, cool. Who's in that space? Anton, Samuel Leeds. Okay, cool. There's videos on YouTube. Let me watch his videos. Oh, he's talking about an event. He's got an event in London. I go to that event. I meet like-minded people who want to get involved in the property space, who are already involved in the property space. We make a WhatsApp group. We meet up. We link up. We share resources, books. And that's kind of how the ball gets rolling. That's how the process kind of gets started. And it's important to kind of look at it from that angle as well, and not just sort of feel the need to maybe cut off old people or current friends. Or it's not necessary. I know we've mentioned it in other podcast episodes where you can love someone from a distance. You love them from a distance, and you keep what you need around you. And it just boils back to that whole, what you spend your time on, what you focus on will grow. And I think that's just so instrumental. So like, yeah, this whole thing of me viewing the house, honestly, bro, I was gassed.
I like it.
I started looking at houses that were like just cheaper than that, and I was just like, it's just not the same. So now I've got this bug, and I'm just like, man, I got to view more, but I want to actually get one. How can I make it happen? And yeah, just looking to like extend that energy to like other areas. So like with jobs, I'm just like, okay, cool. What's the next level up?
I think just keeping things in mind as we're going into, new year, new me.
Yeah, new year.
2020 vision that I can see perfectly now.
I can see
if people have their
now.
vision boards, they got stuff on there, they haven't been achieving their vision, or they feel like they're moving further away from their vision, then maybe take a look at it and see what can you do about it today.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
is there a nice car that you've wanted to have? Maybe you go on a test drive for a couple of, for a day or two. Maybe you hire it out, whatever, so you get a feel of what the wheel feels like.
Yeah.
Is it automatic? Is it manual? Okay. Petrol. Get used to putting petrol in it.
4-wheel drive, yeah. Is this what I want? Actually, this one isn't even nice. I want to upgrade. That sort of thing.
This colour doesn't work. So you're starting to live in it. You're breathing it. Smell that interior. Do dumb stuff. Do dumb stuff.
But it's
spill water on the seat. Oh no! I spilled water on my car.
I'm gonna buy it anyway. So yeah. So
oh no!
I got water on my car.
Oh, it's got electric heating for the seats. That's fine.
That's alright. I can live with that. But it's so true. It's like
live and breathe it.
You know when you walk past a restaurant and you get that aroma. You want to eat the food, like your mouth starts to water. Your mind's already. Your mind's
what's cooking. Yeah.
Bam, your mind's already there. Yep. No. I want that.
Today. Okay. Yeah.
And yeah, it's right by kind of renting the car and by staying in the house over the weekend, whether that's through Airbnb or whatever the case may be, by going to that country, or again, even if it's just watching it through vlogs and that sort of thing, you're putting yourself in that mindset and that mind frame. Bro, it's so powerful.
It could be the simple basis, like I guess. A lot of ours are kind of centered around money, but it could be a health sort of thing. If your dream is to run a 26-mile marathon, then start with a 5K, charity kind of run.
Half marathon.
Make it fun, make it enjoyable, but literally get those shoes on, and then push it again. 10.
It's powerful stuff, man. But you know what? There is, I think, not the downside, but like I said, after viewing that house, I kind of be like, okay, this can be achieved. Yeah, that kind of calm down of.
Okay.
But no, it's good because it kind of made me kind of look at myself and be like, but why have I set the bar so high? I mean, so low. Why am I looking at these 300k houses if I know that I'll fall in love with this type of? Again, it goes back to that easy piece and that fair piece as well of okay, cool. Yeah, it's easier. Like this is my comfort zone. This is my fishbowl. This is my small little fishbowl. I don't want to jump out of it into this really big one where there's more space and I'm not used to it. Because there's that kind of aspect with work environments as well, where a lot of people are really big goldfishes in small bowls, and they're comfortable because they dominate. I know how big this is. I'm the biggest person here. I know what to do. It's comfortable. I don't get paid as much as I should, but I know what I'm doing. It's safe. It's safe.
That's a very good point.
And it's that kind of fear of taking that leap, out of the frying pan into the fire, into that bigger bowl, into the unknown. I don't know this area. I don't know what's about. There could be bigger fishes than me here. There could be sharks. There could be animals that I'm now the I'm now the prey. They're the predator. I'm what they eat.
Yeah.
And I don't know this environment, but it's just about being able to have that confidence, talk to yourself, and just take that leap. But like you said, not necessarily for everyone. I know some people are happy with.
That's what I said.
That's
just
kinda
look at your vision
simple
and
life,
work
yeah.
it out for yourself.
It's more about thinking about things from your own perspective, and obviously it's all good and well for us to sit here and say, yeah, this and that. But like you said, it's different for everyone. But I think it's definitely something to think about at least. Just like, yeah, this is a maybe. This is a thing.
Do things big.
Do it big. So I guess, yeah, so for us, probably January 2020, isn't it? Early January 2020. We've got to put it out there. So yeah, the plan is, well, obviously we'll probably film a lot of this as well, so you guys will sort of see us on the socials and kind of get that kind of house, the apartment complex, the swimming pool, cinema room, and just the nice environment and the vibe as well. So just us not just talking about it, but actually living it ourselves.
Yeah.
And then obviously anything else, so potentially like a car, like a Range, or like I saw an Aston Martin. I saw a few nice ones. I was like, okay, let me take my pick. Us just kind of showing you it from our angles and our perspectives and just living that life. And
be honest though, this is a rental. This ain't mine. I'm just doing it to activate my RSA.
Yeah, I got no issue saying, I'm like, this is a rental. I'll give this back tomorrow at 12. The tank's got to be full. I want my deposit back. No scratches, no nada. Yeah, it's powerful stuff.
So like the thing, I guess. We're planning to get together in January, have a bunch of people, rent out a nice place in London or even further out. But literally just to have everyone in the same space and also be in a different space to what they're usually accustomed to, which will hopefully be a nice kind of luxurious type of apartment. And I think it will just do good, like be good vibes, energy. We'd just be living there. We'll be breathing it. And hopefully we'll all walk away from it. Maybe going, not for us, or maybe going, how do we make this happen?
Yeah.
And you don't even know what can be born out of that. It might even become some event type thing that happens on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Because even thinking about it, there's certain stuff that, I look at my cousins, I look at my brothers, and there's certain stuff that I know that I can provide for them today to make them realize what they can achieve in the future. Yeah. There's those little aspects of it. So picking up like an 8-year-old, and he might be dreaming, he might be into cars. He might be dreaming of one day when he's older, he's going to have a Ferrari. If you do, or Aston Martin, if you do get an Aston Martin, bring him on board.
That's a dream.
Make him be the first person that, sits in it.
Because it's that point of going beyond yourself as well.
Yeah.
Not just like you said, not just doing what you feel you can achieve, but showing other people what they could achieve.
Yeah.
Hey guys, look, I know I've rented this, or I've only got this for the weekend, but look at what we could have. This is within our grasp. Like let's make this happen. Like let's do this. And it's just, man, because I remember like on a smaller scale, this was like secondary school, maybe college, even just with an MP3. Back in the day, I don't know if you ever used to do this. Grab the Argos book and just circle all the things you wanted, all the toys, everything. Then just leave it there in the living room, especially around Christmas time or birthday time. Hi, Mum, would you like a cup of tea? Them ones there. And I remember like this was when I first learned about vision boards and just how powerful it was. I looked at this MP3 and I was just like, I want it. I just remember just like, I want this. I don't have any money. I don't know how I'm going to get it. I'm not getting pocket money, but I'm going to get this MP3. And I remember like this was within a few weeks. I just remember having the MP3. I went to Argos, I bought it, bro. I was gassed. And I kept doing this. I look at the thing in the Argos book, then I just look at it in my hand. And I'm just like, you're here. I have this. I made this happen.
Yeah,
I did this. And I was just like, this thing, I didn't understand it was vision boarding. I didn't understand the
intention
and what I did by
the universe.
I understood the underlying concept, and I was like, whatever this is, it is
works.
powerful and it works.
Damn.
And just kind of seeing that follow through and just using that till kind of current times. To be fair, I need to put mine back up. I remember I moved recently, so a lot of things in my room are just kind of like around the place. I need to kind of get that back up there and just kind of bring things back to life. Because I think one of the things is happening now. So I just need to get it back up there and just be like, yeah.
Some say you don't need to put it back up. Some say that it's nice to go back after 2 years and be like, oh snap.
Yeah. That fam, it's powerful. Nah, man, I'm
have big visions.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes, I'm loving it. I'm loving
trying
it.
to change people's lives, make it happen today. There's little stuff that you can do. So yeah,
I'm loving that. But yeah, like Anton said, we'd love to do this little vision board challenge. If there are things that are on your vision board, whether it's written down, visual, whatever it is, or as a screensaver on your phone, if you can experience and sample it to a smaller degree, whether that's renting an area, a house, a room, or a car, or maybe just sampling things via sort of vlogs or just doing little taster sessions, we'd highly encourage it. If you do it, let us know. Share with us what you're doing, because I think it's a great, powerful tool to use to really kind of 10x and make things happen a lot faster and bigger, and just 10x your achievement. So we'd definitely love to see that. Otherwise, thank you for listening in, and that is it for today's episode.